a heartbreaking story out of Westchester County, and some of the images you're about to see are disturbing.
Yeah, the SPCA recently found nearly 24 sick cats and kittens inside the home of someone who was evicted in White Plains. The animals abandoned for weeks without proper food and water.
And this isn't the first time a large amount of cats were rescued from this very same home. Eyewitness News reporter Marcus Solis is live in White Plains with the details. Marcus.
Indeed, Liz and David, it was a year ago almost to the day that the SPCA began removing cats from the apartment occupied by an elderly woman. And it's taken a year for the relocation process to be completed. It is now. The problem is that that apartment sat vacant for a couple of weeks with no one in it except those cats. They're still undernourished and skittish. Nearly 24 rescued cats being treated at the SPCA Westchester in Briarcliff Manor. But they're already in a much better place than they were last week.
They weren't in good shape, many of the cats. Basically, they were skin and bones.
These were the squalid conditions the cats were barely surviving in. One kitten so desperate for water she climbed into a toilet. 2 felines were found dead. The location is one that's very familiar to the agency. A building in White Plains they've been dealing with for a year. Eyewitness News brought you the story last February when over 40 cats were removed from a hoarding situation. The apartment was occupied by an elderly woman who was in the midst of being evicted. That woman was finally relocated last month, but somehow building management failed to notify the SPCA the apartment was vacant, and whatever cats had been left behind multiplied.
You couldn't even go in there. It was very difficult to breathe. And then with the cats, they had made holes in a wall where they were going through the building. I know some of them were able to also come down into the basement.
The cats are on the road to recovery, but for the SPCA, the situation isn't unique. It typically deals with a handful of hoarding cases each year. And so their message is simple.
We have a hotline number, 24 hours. Even if you suspect it, just give us a call. This way we can make contact with the owners and try to, at the early stages, we can take care of it.
Well, the number for that hotline on abc7ny.com. Also, the number for the SPCA shelter in case anyone is interested in fostering and or adopting those animals. We're live in White Plains. Marcus Solis, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.